It is February 17th, 2022, and from the home studio in Middletown, Delaware, I'm Marshal Manlove from Delaware Sports and My Sports Reports. And this is an interview edition of our show. It's championship season all around the country for high school sports, and we are going to bring in some champions from the wrestling mat here today. Hopefully when I press this button, members of the Cape Henlopen Division I Dual Meet State Championship Wrestling team will appear. Let's hope it works. Let's go. There they are. Yes. It's always good when a plan comes together, man. Yes. All right, look at that. All right, get the logo over there. Head coach Chris Mattioni, welcome.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Of course. And then let's find out who you brought with you. We'll start over to your far side. Introduce yourself there, young champion.
My name's Alex Taylor.
Alex Taylor, welcome. And our other young champion?
I'm Mikey Frederick.
Mikey Frederick. Welcome and congratulations for your dual meet state championship. First ever for Cape Henlopen. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
All right. That's exciting, isn't it?
Yes, it is, very.
But what's kind of odd about it is that the season's not over, so you don't really even have too much of a chance to celebrate, right?
That's correct. So in Delaware, we do the dual meet state tournament, and then we follow it up with the Henlopen Conference tournament this weekend, and the other qualifiers, the Blue Hen and the Independent, and then the following weekend, so 2 weeks from tomorrow, will be the state independent or individual tournament at Cape Henlopen High School.
Oh, you're hosting that. Oh, fantastic.
We are, yes.
Ah, good. Home mat. So is there going to be any advantage, do you think, for you guys to be able to wrestle the individual state championships on your home turf? What do you think, Alex?
We get our own wrestling room. So we'll have our wrestling room and we'll have the Cape fans there to support us.
How about you, Mikey? You think there'll be any advantage for you there?
I mean, we pull a little more fans than we would if it was held somewhere else. But I mean, other than that, not very much.
You guys didn't really even get to like celebrate in a way you really can celebrate because you have to maintain weight. It's not like you go out and like stuff your face with cheeseburgers and stuff, right? Or did you? I don't know. Maybe you did.
That's exactly what we did.
It is. It is. Okay. All right. Good. So if you win the conference championships, will you take another a day or so to eat a bunch of cheeseburgers and stuff? Maybe. Yeah. Okay. So
the following is when the cheeseburgers get eaten if they win the individual state tournament. So because that's the last time they have to make weight for the season. So, and for Mikey forever. So.
So Mike, what weight class have you been wrestling in this year?
I've been wrestling 145, and for a few dual meets, I'll bump up to like 152.
So how do you make that decision, Coach? Where to put them out on the mat on any given day?
So we had our state champ, defending state champ Luke Bender got hurt, a season-ending injury. So in order to get our best matchups, we have the flexibility where we're going to move Mikey up to the better competition and try to get a win with him and then get a win with one of our JV guys, inserting them in the lineup, or sometimes just putting them in so we don't give up a pin if Mikey can go up and get a pin at 152. Our role as coaches is to put us in the best situation so that we can win as many duels as possible, and that's moving guys around to putting them in the best position where we can maximize team points.
And then, Alex, how about you? What weight class have you been wrestling?
I'm usually wrestling 195, but for state duels, I followed my descent plan to go 182. So I could wrestle at 182 for state duels. So wait a second. You said, all right. So I see you did 182 in the semifinals again, and the finals, and that's where you are most of the year. Did I just hear you correctly? No. Most of the year I'm wrestling 195.
195. Okay, so that's a lot of weight that you might have to cut there to get down. When did you find out that you were most likely going to wrestle 182, and how
much did you weigh when you were told that?
Well, I think it was probably like a month and a half ago.
Okay.
Usually after practice, I was weighing in at 186, 184, and so I was eating a lot to go up to 190. I was weighing in around 193. So one day, Coach Matty, he was like, "Alex, you're gonna go 182 for state duels," and I didn't question it, and I started my descent plan.
I'd have questioned that, and I would have cried. So wrestlers are some of the toughest athletes around, mentally, physically. The two sets of athletes I have the most admiration for are wrestlers and long distance runners. The mental toughness necessary to compete and compete successfully at high levels at both those sports is something that people have a hard time comprehending. Coach, what do you see in these guys? First of all, let me ask you this question. How long have you been coach at Cape Henlopen?
This is year 26.
Okay. So what did you see in these guys when they joined the wrestling team as far as their mental toughness was concerned, and how did it mature, if at all, over the course of the years that you've seen them?
So this class in particular, or just in general wrestling?
Well, let's take these guys here. Yeah.
I think part of it is when you're thrust into the varsity lineup, and Mikey was a starter as a freshman. We actually had a few, Carson Kammerer, Lucas Rupert. So when they're put into the varsity lineup, they mature quickly because it is a big task ahead of them. And when a lot of the other sports, if you're a freshman and if you're on the varsity, you get inserted maybe at the end of games or when big leads are happening. Whereas in wrestling, either you start or you don't. So you mature fast and you learn quickly. And the best guys are the ones that are smart and they work hard, and then that just gets better and better each year. And they bought in early on. The senior group, believed in what we do and put forth that effort, and they stuck with it. This was our first dual meet state title, but we did win the state title last year, and was really a team effort. And these guys believing in the training, believing in what we do each and every day, what we preach. And there is a great deal of mental preparation, mental toughness, and a lot of discipline that other sports don't have. Like Alex said, in wrestling now, it's not like 30 years ago or even 20 years ago, where if you're overweight, you put trash bags on, you run, you lose water weight. We try to educate the importance of dieting, eating right, changing what you're putting into your body, how you're fueling your body. Mikey's a prime example of someone that bought into that so that he could diet, lose weight properly. Alex had to do that, and numerous other guys. And I think we have an obesity problem in the country. But for wrestlers, it takes extreme discipline to follow that descent plan. You really change how you eat, what you put in your body, how you fuel it. And like I said, they bought in since day one, and they matured each year. And then, they take over and become student leaders. I mean, both of them are team captains. Mikey's been a team captain since his sophomore year. He has those skills that others don't, where he's going to lead by example. He's going to influence others in a positive way, and he's going to be that extra coach there to get guys doing what they're supposed to, on and off the mat.
So, Mike, talk about the nutrition and dieting aspect there. Just because I want to relate a little bit. I lost 40 pounds at during the pandemic, when everybody else was gaining weight, I was losing. It was very, very tough. When I hit my goal, when I saw how much I was actually allowed to eat to maintain, it was only like half a sandwich more. It was very upsetting. So how do you take care of the nutritional aspect in your life?
I would say that it's mostly about stability. I try and eat pretty much the same thing every day, and I have been eating pretty much the same thing every day since the middle of November now. So I got to cut out, like fast food and packaged food. But I mean, after a while, you get used to it. And like I said, you find stability and your body regulates it, and then you're down to weight and you can maintain it.
How about you, Alex? Same question.
At first I was having some problems cutting the weight, but with teammates like Mikey and Carson and Coach Mattioni, they kind of give me like a good example of what cutting weight actually looks like. So kind of like what Mikey said, stability. I was kind of just eating the same things, sticking to my rice cakes and salads and stuff like that, just so I could over time lose the weight and also keep my energy up enough so I could practice and perform well in matches.
Yeah, so food becomes a fuel rather than a celebration is one way to kind of coin that, would you say?
Yeah.
It's like a job. I think Mikey said it best. You just like kind of eat the same thing. It's just a job. It's just a routine. You can't romance it, and that kind of helps you through. Accurate?
Yeah.
Okay. Mikey, congratulations. I heard that you just recently won your 100th career victory as well. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's a huge milestone. What were some of the highlights of those 100 wins for you?
Man, I don't even know. I mean, I guess having my teammates there with me, because I mean, I can't do it without them.
How about you, Alex? What kind of victory path are you on there?
Last year was my first year on varsity as a sophomore. Last year we had the pandemic and stuff like that, so I didn't really get the full varsity experience of being able to travel out of state and go to tournaments and wrestle a different variety of kids. But last year at the DIAA state tournament, I wrestled 220, weighing in at about 185, 186. But one of my most exciting matches was on the back corner when I wrestled Josh Dyer, and I won in a sudden victory, and that was exciting.
Awesome. And then for the dual meet state championships, Mikey, you won all three of your matches. Alex, you won both of yours. Were you in the? Let's see. Yeah, Alex, you won both of yours. What was it like to deal with the fact that you had to wrestle two big matches in one day in a short period of time?
I mean, it's almost hard to prepare emotionally. Like, after you have such an exciting match against Smyrna, you have to almost pretend like that didn't even happen, because if you're still hung up on what happened in the match an hour ago, then you're not going to be mentally prepared to wrestle the next match.
Yeah, so they were arguably.
I definitely agree. Wrestling at Smyrna in their home gym, it was definitely a surreal moment, and your energy's definitely like up. But sometimes you got to.
I think I'm
That we got in the Smyrna and Cesar Rodney match. We took our time to rest, refuel our bodies, and get prepared for the next match.
Okay.
And we did have the Division I semifinals was wrestled first, and then Division II. So we had a little bit of time to celebrate and then refocus before the next match. We weren't going right back to back like DMA and Caravel did.
Yeah, that had to be real tough. I noticed that. So Smyrna was arguably the toughest match of the three for you. And then, Coach, what did you do strategically after the Smyrna match to get ready for Cesar Rodney, who you wrestled during the year? Well, you wrestled both of them during the year, and then figure out your lineup.
Yeah, and really the night before, Friday night, I was prepping and really looked a lot at Sally's, and because I thought Sally's was going to get by CR. So we just, had that extra time to sit down and look at our lineup and see where we're going to maximize our points. And that's where we flip-flopped. Josh Wright and Josh Alvarez both weigh in at 126. So we moved Josh Wright down and Josh Alvarez up. And then we inserted our JV 138-pounder, Brady Cole. So he was able to battle and shave a point by giving up a tech fall and not a pin. And then we moved Andrew Shane up, and he was able to get a nice victory at 145. And then we moved Mikey up And then we knew we were going to keep Alex down. So that was our strategy early, was to get the matchup we thought where we can maximize the points at 126 and 132, and then move Andrew and Mikey up.
So now you have the conference championships this weekend, and you're likely to see some of the same guys you just saw this past weekend and for a couple of times this year. How do you get ready for that? And then what's your strategy as a coach, because you have not only individual championships, but you have team point totals to accumulate also?
And our approach has been the same. We're prepping to have our best outings at the end of the season, and our mental preparation is the same, whether we're wrestling Lake Forest or we're wrestling Smyrna. We want to make sure that our guys are number one conditioned, and I believe that they're in the best shape out of anybody in the state. We're going to push the pace. We're going to maximize our points. We're going to minimize mistakes, and that's the goal, is to wrestle consistently every single match. And when we wrestle consistently, then take advantage of those opportunities. So if there's a pin there, we're going to make sure that those guys go after it. But we're not going to go into the match looking for a pin. We're going to go into the match looking to wrestle our best and score, continue to score. And as we're continuing to score, opportunities open up. So if there's got an opportunity to get a guy to his back, to the back and work for a fall. Because we'd like to win the Henlopen Conference tournament, because that's another thing that Cape's never done. We won the Henlopen Northern Division title this year, first time since 1990. But again, the tournament championship hasn't happened for Cape. So that's our ultimate goal, but we're not putting the pressure on to do that. Our goal is to win each and every match, win every period, score as many points, and then I think everything will take care of itself.
Now, with the individual states, I understand that they're awarding team championships for that again, right?
So yes, the wrestling committee decided, favorably that everyone liked the concept of keeping team score. So we are going to keep team score. We're going to acknowledge the tournament champion and the runner-up. We're not going to designate divisions. So everyone together, and we're going to, like I said, just acknowledge that tournament champion and runner-up.
Yes, it's been a while since that happened. That's how it was determined before the dual meet state championships, if my memory serves me properly, right?
That is correct. And then, of course, we did that last year to determine state champs as well for last year. But this year, it's not going to be a state champ. It's just going to be a tournament champion and runner-up.
Okay, fair enough. Alex, what do you like about wrestling?
I love learning new things all the time. Wrestling is one of those sports where it's like you can know everything, but you still don't know enough. So I just like learning new things every day, learning how to, critique my technique and, mold myself into a better wrestler as time goes on. Because, I could be better now, but I'll be even better if I keep putting in the work to get better.
Mm-hmm. Mikey, how about you?
I would say something similar to Alex, like self-improvement, just constantly getting better and working towards being better as a wrestler and, as a person, being mentally tougher.
And are you going to wrestle in college?
No, I'm playing lacrosse in college.
So that was going to be my I should ask that question first, the other sport that you play. So how's why lacrosse over wrestling? Better at lacrosse?
I guess. I think so.
You can probably eat more.
Yeah, that too.
Right. All right. Coach, let me have you close it out. Tell me what I'm missing about this, guys. If anything, you want to say anything about them in particular that hasn't been brought out. Want to mention any of the other kids on the team, young men on the team who've helped you to your team success this year, and then we'll wrap it up after that.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are great competitors, and our dual meet team title was a truly team effort. We started at 120, which I thought was good in the semifinals match with Gianpietro. So, we want to finish, not with their best guys, but, our guys went out and competed and contested every single match. I'm just really proud of their effort all season long. what they persevered through, and things that have really brought this group together. Your viewers may not know, but when we were coming back from a tournament in South Carolina at the beginning of the year, we were in a significant accident where we were hit by a drunk driver. And miraculously, modern technology, God's intervention, that we walked away with a concussion and soreness. But we really reflected that next week, and that's why we postponed. We had a match against Sussex Tech that week. But we really did a lot of self-reflection, but then reflected as a team. And I think that just made these guys tighter as a group, where, when you go through things like that, you can accomplish anything. And, second chances, and they really focused, worked hard, consistent competitors. But going back to the Smyrna match, we scored our points, and then we went into, 220. Dalton Devey had a big pin over Cale Howe, which set the tone. We rolled into heavyweight and thinking we're going to get a pin there because we had a pin earlier in the season. Lucas Rupert had a decision win, and then it went to our young guys. We had a freshman at 106 and a sophomore at 113, and they couldn't get pinned. Either one of them gets pinned, and we lose the match. So, and then the guys were jumping and hooting and hollering behind them, and so it was exciting right down to the wire. And once we won that match, I was pretty confident that we would be able to beat Caesar Rodney. But like I said, really proud of every single one of them, the work that they put forth, the nonstop intensity in the room. It's really been a pleasure to coach this group. Sometimes it's like pulling teeth getting guys. You really got to convince them, and some guys are lazy, but this group of guys, I mean, they're workers. They're committed, and they've been committed since the beginning of the season, really before the beginning of the season, during the off season. And the growth that we've seen within this year and over the course of 2, 3, 4 years, depending on what grade they're in, it's really been remarkable.
Yeah, it has to be tough to recruit because you have to try to get guys to come out and say, well, come on out, and you're not going to get to eat a lot, and then guys are going to choke you for a couple hours every day. So, yeah, I can see why that might be a tough sell sometimes. But once you get to some of these guys to buy in, they become remarkable young men later in their lives. I have seen so many people who have succeeded in their lives have a couple, and if they're athletes in particular, have a couple sports, in particular wrestling and long distance running. The mental toughness it takes to succeed there will definitely take them places in life, provided that they stay on the path and stay healthy and all too. And Coach, congratulations on your victory. You're a longtime coach there. You put in a lot of work yourself, a lot of dedication, heartbreak, over the years, triumph, tragedy, all that kind of stuff. And I did not know that about the accident. And thank God everybody is okay there. Wow. Yeah, might have talked about that a little bit more. But fantastic that everybody is safe and sound, and you're able to press on, move forward, and succeed. So I want to thank you all for joining me here today and learn a little bit more about you. I'm going to wish you the best of success at the Henlopen Conference Championships this weekend and the individual state championships as well. Wave goodbye to those who are watching. Say, Joey V, my number 1 fan, my number 2 fan, my wife. Side joke, she's only my number 2 fan there. She doesn't careful, she's going to slip to number 3. So hang on there for a second. I'm going to say goodbye to you guys off air. Your mic's going to be live. I'm just going to close out the show here real quick. And thanks to Cape Henlopen Vikings wrestling team, Coach Chris Mattioni, Alex Taylor, and Mikey Frederick for joining me. Hang on tight there, guys, for a second. I know you got to get to class. I'll be quick. All right. So congratulations to them. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this show has been brought to you by me, Marshal Manlove, stage hypnotist. If you would like a funny, fascinating, and memorable occasion, consider hiring me to do a comedy hypnosis show at an event or party that you are having. Find out more about my show at marshalmanlove.com. And also, if you are looking to buy or sell a home in Delaware, Pennsylvania, or Maryland, reach out to me because I sell real estate in those 3 states too. Yes, I have 3 jobs. I would only like to have one. I'm tired, getting old,
too many jobs, man. But you know what? I take inspiration and motivation from guys like this. I really do. Covering sports has made me tougher. Watching some of these guys and the things, these kids and the things that they do to succeed, it is inspirational, motivational, and I highly recommend that you take an interest in some of the things that these guys and girls do too, because girls are wrestling and running cross country meets as well. It's a fantastic learning experience for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am Marshal Manlove, and now